Hi, I'm back. So my first year is done, and after my first year, I went back home for 15 days. I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of good food. I met all my friends. I spent time with my mom and dad and my brother. Not really, because I was hanging out in my room all the time because I wanted to sleep most of the time. But it was a fun time. So, and now I came back, and it's been a week since I came back. I started my job, I started my courses, and when I first came here, when I started my first year, during the first 2 weeks, I was really homesick. And I didn't even know what getting homesick was. It's just this feeling of that you're in a new place and you take your own time to settle down and accept how things are going to be going forward. And I guess that was me. This was the first time me cooking for myself. And cooking is not a cakewalk, it's a lot of work. And I had never cooked in my life before for myself or anybody else. So it was a chore for me to get used to that. And it, I just realized how hard it really is to be living by yourself because back in India, we had people to help for everything. If there's some electronic malfunction and your fan is not working or the AC is not working, I would just tell my dad and he would fix it for me. And if I want some food and I'm craving a lassi or dosa or anything, I would tell my mom and she would make it for me the next day. If I wanted help in anything, like there were people for that. And now all those people that helped you in your family, all that work you have to do by yourself. If the fan is not working, you have to get it fixed. If you want to eat something, you have to cook that for yourself because ordering is very expensive and you are broke all the time. So yeah, it's a lot to take in and process. Is it just, and it will get lonely at times because during my first year, I kept really busy and I didn't really prioritize my social life. And the so handful of people I knew went back to India. So we are starting all over and going up to someone and asking to hang out with them or chill with them is intimidating and hard. It is not easy. So one lesson that I've learned is I do need to put myself out there and I do need to take chances. And because no one can live alone, it's just we have grown up surrounded by people and it's just really, it's not possible for us to live alone. We need people, especially I need people around me all the time. I'm used to having noise around me all the time. So right now, whenever I feel alone, I just put something on my laptop or my phone, play some songs so that I don't hear the noises in my head shouting that I'm alone and I don't have anyone around me to take care of me or love me or anything. But yeah, I after I got really homesick and those feelings were just taking all over my head and heart. So I tried to like go up to some new people and say, hey, can I hang out with you or can I play with you? And people were really nice to have me and included me in, yeah, that made me feel nice. And one day at a time, if I look at it like I have to keep doing this for all of my university life and keep meeting new people and not have any constants in my life because people will always move away. It looks scary and it kind of looks depressing and I don't want to go through that. But if I keep thinking it that looking at it that way, then it will not work out. If I take it one day at a time, if I'm feeling lonely in the moment, I can just go look whoever's around, maybe hang out with them, or just knock on the other door and see who's there and if they're free to hang out or something like that. It's just one day at a time, one moment at a time. And if you take it that way, it gets a lot easier. So I've been doing that for past 2 3 days and just been taking one day at a time. I i make plans for today. Tomorrow I'll deal with it tomorrow, and then I'll make plans tomorrow for tomorrow, and then I'll deal with day after later on, which doesn't seem as hard to me, at least. So yeah, if I could give out one advice for your university, was prioritize well. I did score well in my first year, but then the trade off was my social life. And now that I look back, I wouldn't go back and change anything because I had the best time, because I got really close with my roommate, who's a really good friend of mine now. And I wouldn't give that up for anything. But going forward, I've learned that I do need a social life, and that's something really important for me. So I'm going to prioritize that now. Instead of getting a 90, I'm good with a 80 or even less than that, because mental health first. And now that I've realized that real human connections are something that I value and I want in my life, I will have to make an effort for it and I will have to make time for it. So yeah, I would say just prioritize well, because university can be a lot to take in. It can be a lot because there are so many things going on at the same time, and processing all of it at once is not easy and it's daunting. I know people who have left after their first year because either the studies got too hard or they couldn't. The culture here is very individualistic, and the culture in India is very community driven. So we were used to knowing everyone who's in our society or colony, and having a lot of family friends and spending a lot of time with our family, going to family functions and stuff. But here, everyone is engaged in their own life and they're happy with that. And people don't interfere in each other's lives like we did in India. But I kind of miss that as well. But the Indian community here is good as well. Whenever I'm feeling like हिंदी में बात करनी है किसी से, I can just walk up to the Indian friends or even an Indian who I don't know, and they'd be more than happy to speak to me because yeah, we're just like that. So I'm sure it's gonna be fine. And yeah, have a good day. Go to the gym, drink water, and see you soon.